Well, chapter 14 of Hosea, this is actually the real final chapter of Hosea. Then we'll get into another prophet next time. But this is dealing with latter days prophecy. So this is, we could think of this as kind of the last ditch effort to tell the people, children of Israel, you need to change. You need to be better, basically. So pleading with Israel to return. Verse 1, O Israel, return unto the Lord thy God, for thou hast fallen by thine iniquity, which we've spent many chapters talking about already in Hosea. Take with you words, and turn to the Lord. Say unto him, take away all iniquity. So this is repent, and receive us graciously. So will we render the calves of our lips. So this is interesting, calves of our lips. So to pay with bulls, basically, or to offer proper and true sacrifice. So this isn't just acting religious, but truly being religious. You mean it sincerely inside, okay? This verse basically deals with one's resolves to do better, to present the sincere prayers of one's lips as an offering to the Lord was as precious as the best offerings in the Mosaic law, which were young oxen or bullocks, hence the calves of our lips. So think of this idea. They sacrifice calves in the sacrifice ordinances. This is using your thinking of sacrificing your lips, what you're saying, which is coming from inside of you, to God. Truly following God, not just acting religious, but truly being religious, basically. Verse 3, Ashur, which is Assyria, basically, shall not save us. We will not ride upon horses, neither will we say any more, to the work of our hands, ye are our gods. For in thee the fatherless findeth mercy. So realizing Assyria is not going to save you from this. Your idols are not going to save you. Trusting in the arm of flesh is not going to save you. We need to trust in God. That is how we get saved. That's how we get the help we need. Verse 4, I will heal their backsliding, which means apostasy. I will love them freely, for mine anger is turned away from him. So as soon as you repent, God shows love to you. If you want to have more of God's love in your life, what can you change to follow God more? That's important. Do more, keep the commandments, follow God more, and you'll have more of God's love in your life. Verse 5, I will be as the dew unto Israel. So the free life given, basically, think of like the manna, the dew. This is free. Dew is like free water. If you're in a survival situation, morning dew is like free water to help sustain your life, basically. That's kind of what it says here. He shall grow as the lily and cast forth his roots as Lebanon. So that water, God is going to water you and to take care of you. His branches shall spread, and his beauty shall be as the olive tree, and his smell as Lebanon. They that dwell under his shadow shall return. They shall receive as the corn and grow as the vine. The scent thereof shall be as the wine of Lebanon. So they are going to be blessed and prospered if they keep the commandments and do what God has asked of them. Verse 8, Ephraim shall say, what have I to do any more with idols? I have heard him and observed him. I am like a green fir tree. From me is thy fruit found. So finally, in the last days, they will see the error of their ways. They will find the truth and realize the idols are just pieces of wood. Let's go worship the God who is nurturing the tree, which is the real God, the God of creation. Verse 9, who is wise? And he shall understand these things. Prudent, and he shall know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the just shall walk in them, but the transgressor shall fall therein. So think of perspective. We're changing our perspective. Instead of our prideful centrist perspective, we're taking an external perspective of God's perspective on what is right and what is wrong. This is a change of perspective. God's perspective is the one that we need to measure everything from. That's basically what we're getting from this end of Hosea. That's an important thing for us to always pay attention to. Are we taking God's perspective and understanding things? Are we seeing the world from the prophet's perspective? Or are we seeing the world from our perspective? Are we seeing the church from the world's perspective versus seeing the world from the church's perspective? What perspective you take is going to make a big impact on you. It is well worth it for us to explore the perspective of God and understand his ways. The best way to do that is to study his ways and to follow his ways, to understand them more. When you see that, you'll go, oh, I get it now. I see this perspective. I need to change. These things need to go away. I need to do more of this stuff over here. It's going to be better. The truly wise is a person who can change perspective, who's willing to look at things from a different point of view. Take the time to follow God's perspective. That is going to help you to improve your ability to understand the things of God. This is so important. People who are involved with wickedness, they're seeing a worldly perspective of things. They're judging the church by the world's standards, which never works out for the church. If you take the perspective of God, like truly understand God's perspective, not just a church perspective, but God's perspective, and look at the world, you'll see it in a different light. That's what we need to be thinking about. Are we taking God's perspective, or are we taking a worldly perspective and looking back at things? Let's take God's perspective. Let's work on following him, having him in our life, doing more with him. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed these videos. Please like them, subscribe, so that you can get more of our videos as we continue forward.